father worked second shift, so that meant he was home when I got home from school. My brothers came home from school a little bit after I did, and between my brothers and my father, or all three of them, it depended really, but I was afraid to come home from school because I knew what I was going to walk into. I did not want to come home from school. I felt safer at school.
It was kind of just the normal father figure relationship with his daughter. It was just, you know, hanging out, going out, playing games, doing things together, and then it just went to a whole nother level after that. The moments that I felt the most fear in, you know, going home was after school, because during those moments I knew that something was going to happen, so it was hard when I knew and I just didn't want to be home.
I know that, you know, just realizing that I allowed that monster into our home, it was my choice. I found him. You know, I went on a date with him. I chose to move him in. Those things really stick with me.
Just mom and dad drove us to the movies a lot, or out to the pizza place, and we were together, a lot of time with a lot of people for the first good months of it through the summer until we went into high school. And that's when it changed. When we went and got a restraining order, they also went through the tapes at the school to find stuff that him choking me up against the wall, and so then they tried to look for that, and then they looked through all my text messages and just had tons of stuff on how he wanted to kill me and how he wanted to kill my friend.
At 17, I was a senior in high school. My parents were getting divorced after 20 years, and I asked my dad if I could go live with him, and he said no. And I was afraid, so I ended up moving out and getting an apartment and a job on my own, and that's when I actually started my first abusive relationship, was at 17 years old.
Once the abuse started, I sheltered myself from a lot of people. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I didn't feel like anyone would accept me or want to hang around with me. Even though I didn't tell people, I felt disgusting and just trapped in a situation where I couldn't get out of, and didn't want anyone else to be close to me.
As a parent of a survivor of sexual abuse, there's an astronomical amount of guilt that goes with that. I must have relived that 6 years piece by piece in my head a million times before I got in contact with Bridges. I was devastated, depressed, and had no idea how to help my children.
So no matter how much I cried or got told that I wasn't good enough, I would get told that I was good enough the next day or was loved, and then it was just always something new every week, you know, whether I was fat or ugly or wasn't smart enough, was not going to go to college, you know, shouldn't do something, shouldn't be with my family, shouldn't be with my friends, should just always be with him.
I didn't know how married people were supposed to be like, except for how my parents were. And they didn't fight, so this was a whole new thing to me. I felt degraded. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin at all.
I know I was so all alone. I had nobody. There was nobody. Nobody I could go to. You grow up in that kind of a family, you think it's normal. But yet at the same time, you don't know. You don't talk about it to anybody either. There's like this unwritten rule. So I did. I felt so all alone.
That it wasn't my fault. Because of course I thought everything was my fault. You know, you think my mom thought it was her fault. Bridges helped both of us just know that it wasn't either of our faults. You know, just to sit down and hear someone say that it's not your fault. You couldn't have changed anything.
I remember going to the Child Advocacy Center with Brianna to disclose her story, and a woman from Bridges was there, and just having her sit next to me and say, I'm here if you want to talk. If you don't, it's okay. I can give you information. I can offer you anything you need, but I'm here, was huge.
Bridges played a numerous role in my recovery. They had teen group therapy, which helped me out so much. It was just eye-opening to see how many kids went through it and how many parents felt the same way as other parents. And it was just a huge thing to get together with other kids and make it so that I felt more comfortable and that no one was going to judge me there. And no one was going to, put anyone else down for what they've been through. No one was going to say anything to hurt anyone. And it just felt really calming in that scenario where we could all come together once a week.
Even though I wanted to be there were other people there, women there that went through what I went through. It was still very difficult at first, but once you start going, you just keep hearing everybody talk and the support you give each other. Made all the difference in the world for me. So important. It just was really important to know that I was not the only one. So with the other women in the group, you become like sisters in a way. You know, we are sisters.
I really don't fear what anyone has to say about anything that has happened to me because I know that it wasn't my fault that I did any of this. It was not what I did or said to make someone put me through this for so long of my life.
The thing that was awesome too about Bridges is they helped me understand how it was possible for him to fool me. You know, I consider myself a smart woman, and I certainly consider myself a protective mother. And Bridges helped me understand that a predator like this takes the time to make sure that not only do their victims trust them, but every person around the victim trusts them too.
Bridges was a huge step in helping me get through everything and push me in the right direction and get me out there so that I could stand up to the person that hurt me the most in life and stand up and say that this isn't right and put him away, because that was one of my biggest things. The best day of my life is when I put him away because of all the things that he had done to me. But that was because I had support system, I had people from Bridges who helped me.
I can finally see the other side of this dark part of my life, where it really doesn't feel so dark anymore. I can honestly say I have never felt this good in my life.
I wake up every day wanting to help people and make someone else's day better. I mean, I think that's what really this experience or Bridges has done for me is I want to give people back what I received. I've met everyone at Bridges that does that, makes everyone feel like when they feel the worst about themselves, like I did. I felt so bad about myself. And especially to be that young and to not want to see the next day or not to want to do your schoolwork or something you should be excited about. And now I'm just so excited and enthusiastic about everything in life.
I think if I didn't have help from Bridges, I probably wouldn't have a future.
You know, Brianna's going to be the woman to change that. She's going to find a way to change society's thinking, you know, person by person, kid by kid. I can see great things for her, and she's driven and confident, and I know she'll get there.
Anytime that I know that someone's going through a hard time with something, I can tell them that Bridges, you know, you can call them anytime you want. They have a 24/7 hotline. If you feel down, you can call them. They'll answer, and they'll be there. I know they'll be there because I've had that. And it means a lot to have someone be there in your life when you feel that no one's there.
So for anybody, if I know anyone, definitely I would say Bridges. You know, I'll take you there myself. You know, definitely support Bridges. Oh, because they support you. That's for sure.